So, something that's been about this specific post has kind of been on my mind. You know, one, you can tell they're very well written. They present well because just the post itself is has high level of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, how it's written. That being said, we still don't know how good or bad the assistant actually is. So we don't know. Um, and in this instance, it's a small team of five, and the client is asking who the weakest link is. It's kind of a bullshit question, you know, from a client. And he said the assistant, the executive assistant. He may have in that moment just picked the lowest person on the totem pole and threw him under the bus. Now, sometimes being thrown under the bus is a badge of honor for the assistant. I have personally encouraged principals to throw me under the bus when they have made a mistake. Stephanie and I talk about this not all the time, but when situations like this come up, when I used to work for clients, Stephanie still does work for clients. When one of those clients screws up and being able to say to the client, tell them it was my fault. Tell them that I screwed up. And initially, when you do this the first time with a principal, initially like, no, I got to own it. And then you say, no, I'm serious. Just tell them it was me and that it won't happen again. And then you loop me in and make sure that I'm looped in so I can catch it before it becomes an issue moving forward. And I remember, it was working for Fred at Deutsch, who I've spoken about before, and I did that when we were beyond the hazing part or the get over the hump part of the relationship. He had already trusted me, but our relationship went even deeper, and we chuckled about it. And he would bring it up every now and then, like, oh, you want to take this one on certain situations. And when it was appropriate, I'd say, sure, throw me under the bus. I can be your scapegoat. Um, and that post, and how, you know you're talking about a terrible question from a client, small team. What are they gonna say? you know the assistant can also walk away from that and know in the back of their head they had to say someone. I'm actually kicking ass, and I'm kind of honored that they used me like that, because I can be a scapegoat. It's okay. On the other hand, we don't know. The assistant could be terrible. So, um, but yet have high self awareness and just not care. You know, so we don't know. But the idea that you can encourage your principal to throw you under the bus to protect them is a very, very uh, interesting dynamic, and something that EAs who've been doing this long enough um, can appreciate.